How's it going, people? Welcome to this week's edition of the Locker Room right here on Top 6 Fan TV. And with me, it's a packed house. Some of them calling themselves Avengers. But we will see. Jonah is excited about the title race. Manzi is excited about Cristiano Ronaldo. And Ali G is excited about not having his sponsorship logo pulled off his jersey. So it's going to be quite interesting, a fantastic discussion, and we'll jump into it right after this. Brilliant. Welcome. And Mr. Akram is also joining us, the Arsenal man. Akram, you are welcome to the show. We're just kicking it off. And the usual suspects in the house, I would say, Jonah, Jonah, the Liverpool man. Welcome to the show. You can say what's up.
What's up, guys?
There we go. Ali G, Mr. Chelsea, 1-0 to the Chelsea.
Champions of the world. Yes.
Yeah, man. Anyway, we'll get into the chaos when your time comes. Manzi, Man United man, you're still wearing black. I don't know why, but your boys have started firing.
No, I've not yet gotten confidence to wear that jersey. I'll wear it next season. So for now, it's still black for morning.
Brilliant. And Mr. Akram, the Arsenal man, welcome to the show. You can say what's up.
Thank you, Mathew. It's a pleasure always being here.
Fantastic.
Yeah, hopefully.
And we'll get right into the action.
Audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah, we'll get into the action right away, ladies and gentlemen. And first of all, of course, welcome if you're just joining the show, our dear viewers, our virtual viewers. Feel free to hit the subscribe button, like, share as much as you can, and then hit the notification bell in addition to that. And you will be able to get access to new episodes and content as we share it. And of course, kicking off the action with a solid review of the weekend's games, starting off none other than at Old Trafford, where Manchester United welcomed Spurs, and Cristiano Ronaldo showed us why, even at the age of 37. I don't know whether it's because he has been out of action for some time. Manzi, I don't know, he's been in a what do you call it? The crypto bath or something like that. Those ice baths there that rejuvenate his muscles. They came back a different player. Manzi, what was your take on that result? I'm sure it knocked you out.
I didn't expect it, but I discovered how poor Tottenham were. I knew Tottenham were poor, but they're extremely poor because United is poor. Yeah, and for United to win, it was a shock. I expected a draw or a loss, but when you have Ronaldo, he's capable of doing magnificent things. So apart from Ronaldo, the rest of the players were very, very average, but some were extremely poor, like Maguire and others. So it was a shock. It was a surprise win. I didn't expect it, but yeah, it's good that we were able to win.
I like how humble you are. I don't know, Ali G, do you agree with him?
Yeah. I agree with the man because this is one of the games that could have easily ended in a 1-1, 2-0, 2-0 win for Tottenham actually. But Ronaldo being Ronaldo, it was one of those games that also defined his status as a GOAT because the goals that he scored made it look so simple for him. So as in, I agree with what Manzi is saying. any other day it would have ended in a 0-0 or a win for Tottenham because Manu is poor. Manu actually won't lie about it. Manu isn't that good, but Spurs is doing badly off, and Antonio Conte is not so happy with the squad. He's always complaining. I don't know that he'll be there for quite a long time. He's used to winning trophies wherever he's going. So if he's fighting to enter the top 4, I don't think he'll be in Tottenham for a very long time. I feel sorry for him because he has dealt with the best and now he's dealing with the average players. And then Manu itself, it has its own problems. I don't know how they are going to get out of the deep waters because it's quite unfortunate that they're fighting for top 4 behind Arsenal. They're not used to be lagging behind Arsenal. They're supposed to be ahead of Arsenal. At least for the other top 3 teams which are ahead of them, we can say, okay, for the past decade, Manu is used to those teams being ahead, except Liverpool, which has also just started its form recently. But for Manu to be behind Arsenal, I don't think they're used to that. They're not so happy with what they have right now. So we shall wait for the summer to see what they do. Yeah.
We welcome that reality being behind us. Long may it continue. Jonah, your thoughts on that victory? And by the way, if our viewers missed that game, 3-2 was the final result. Cristiano Ronaldo with a clinical hat trick right there. Harry Kane getting a penalty, and of course the dangerous striker for Manchester United, Harry Maguire, also getting onto the score sheet. What were your thoughts about that, Jonah? Jonah, fantastic game. But what are your thoughts around that? Will it be enough to give Man United momentum?
Ronaldo scored very nice goals in very Ronaldo fashion. He had a point to prove after sitting out against Man City for whatever reason. We don't know if he was just unfit or if he was benched. We don't know. But he came and he showed why he's Ronaldo. But that being said, in the words of Alex Ferguson, lads, it's Tottenham. You can't get carried away beating Tottenham.
I know, right? It's Tottenham.
It's Tottenham. Like, come on. And you barely survived them. Maguire almost finished you. So I don't know if it's a good litmus test.
Akram, I mean, you can hear, lads, it's Tottenham.
Yes.
What will the Arsenal fans say about Spurs? What did you make of Man United's performance, Akram?
I'm a big Man United hater, but when it comes to Spurs, I always want them to lose, whether by 10 or 20 goals. So I'm happy that actually United won. I expected United to beat Spurs. I did expect it. I mean, this is Tottenham. They are bottlers. They will always bottle at any opportunity they get. Yeah, but Man United is one team that is surprising me this season. I don't expect them to be that bad. To be honest, you recall when we were starting this season, I actually thought they would challenge for the title or finish second. Yeah, but Man United being Man United and Spurs being what Spurs is, I expected Man United to win, and Ronaldo came in and won that game in a fashion. He's a big game player, like he'll always show up in such fixtures. So you would expect it, and hopefully I think this could be a
Yeah, there we're losing Akram. But Manzi, what are your thoughts around the momentum from that game carrying you into that home game in the Champions League? I guess Atletico Madrid. Do you think you'll be able to pull off a result against Diego Simeone's men?
There's no momentum whatsoever. Like Jonah said, man, it's Tottenham. You struggle against Watford, then Leeds, you win. You're like, then you come back to drawing with those other teams. I don't expect any surprises. I don't think we'll be able to beat Atletico. The players are
even at home.
Even at home, it's okay. It depends on how Atletico plays. If Atletico is as poor as United or poorer, then we can beat them. But if there's any half decent team, see the game with City, the game with Liverpool, the game with anyone in top 7 apart from Tottenham, we struggle. So if Atletico are any good, they will definitely beat United. United relies on a few players, and their defense is very poor. So if Ronaldo scores, then you concede 2, that's a loss. If Ronaldo scores 2 and Maguire scores 3, that's still a loss. So if you don't have a good defense, winning is very difficult. Either draw or lose. So, yeah, that's what I think.
Tough times. We'll pray for United. But ladies and gentlemen, the title race is getting ever more interesting. On Monday night, Manchester City going to Crystal Palace, and the Eagles restricting Manchester City to a 0-0 draw. And that obviously set Pep Guardiola's team back quite a bit. And it narrows the gap at the top. They're now 4 points ahead of Liverpool, with Liverpool having a game in hand, and they're going to be playing Arsenal on Wednesday night. So it's a fantastic way things are shaping up at the top. Not so, Jonah?
Yeah, man. I was actually so confident of City dropping points that yesterday I put a bet. Though I guess I wasn't too confident because I put small money. But I put for correct score 0-0. I could literally see Vieira frustrating these guys. And in fact, as I was watching the game and I saw Olise getting chances and all these other guys getting chances, and I was a bit scared, like, hey, my money may go. Because Crystal Palace looked like they could have nicked it there towards the end.
They could have won it.
A chance. Yeah,
and then
they
you
could have won it.
celebrate while losing money. You're happy but sad.
I know, exactly. But that being said, just to segue into the Arsenal thing. So our game in hand is against Arsenal. I don't know why, for some reason, maybe it's historical reasons, like Ali was saying, Arsenal, Man U, those are the teams that back in the day when we just started watching were the big teams. Even if now we all know that they're shit. Sorry for the language, Mathew, but even if now we know that they're poor teams, you somehow still think that they can pull off something. In the same way I believed Man U could have taken points off City, it's the same way I still fear the Arsenal game tomorrow, despite statistics and records showing that we should easily win this game.
I like that confidence. Akram, do you think these guys will be able to easily win the game? Yeah, looks like Akram.
I'm having issues.
Go ahead.
Let me reconnect back.
Yeah. All right. So we'll give that to
as
Ali
a fan,
G.
I feel it shouldn't be an easy fixture for them, but judging from past records.
Go ahead.
Okay. As we were saying, tomorrow's game, they're thinking that maybe Mohamed Salah has an injury. He got a knock, but I think he will be in the game tomorrow because
he's
was
back.
saying that
they confirmed he trained today. Yeah.
Okay. He said that there's something that you call him that is a hard guy that will be able to pull through that small knock. But in all honesty, I want Arsenal to lose because if you check the table, they are right on our next. We Chelsea fans, we are not used to Arsenal being in the top 4. And it's not comfortable for us. I'm not so happy about it. I'm hoping Arsenal loses their next 2 fixtures. I would actually put a bet and also hope that Crystal Palace also disappoints them. But for tomorrow's game, I'll put all my money on Liverpool so that it can maybe a 3-0 thrashing so that Arsenal can cool down because I'm so jealous of the form that they have right now. Oh my God. I don't know how that guy's has gone to that
never
team.
lose.
I know. Leicester. I watched the whole game of Arsenal Leicester from the beginning, from the first minute. I was hoping Leicester was going to do something, to do some damage. And Odegaard that kid was unbelievable. Thomas Partey was running the whole midfield. So I actually don't know. I may think Arsenal for once because Arsenal is not used to getting any point against Liverpool. Maybe they can pull through a draw, but I'm hoping Liverpool really disappoints them.
Interesting. Manzi, now your fellow neighbors, your noisy neighbors, do you think this result is going to actually cause them to lose their momentum even much more, and you see them slipping behind Liverpool? Will it be enough? Remember, in the next 2 weeks, 2 weeks from now, we actually have the big game, Manchester City versus Liverpool, and that one is going to be a 6-pointer. Fantastic game to look forward to. But Manzi, do you feel this result just takes the steam out of Manchester City's leg?
It takes the wind out of their sails a bit, but I think in the grand scheme of things, City will win this trophy. Liverpool are too good. I thought, Ali mentioned Salah being injured. I thought with Salah and Mane going for AFCON, Liverpool would drop points, but they never dropped points. They continued winning games, and that proved to me that Liverpool is very strong and they have squad depth. They can bring in anyone to replace Salah and Mane, and they'll still perform well. So, yeah, I think it will be a fight to the final weekend, but I think City might just clinch it because Pep is just Pep. Like, if it wasn't Pep, then I would say Liverpool. But because there are 9-10 games left, so even if
exact, yeah,
they will not drop any more points, I think, until they may drop points against Liverpool, but they will go on to win the rest when Liverpool makes a mistake and drops like 2 games. So I think City will win it, but for tomorrow's game, of course, I'm supporting Liverpool.
If City,
yeah,
if City doesn't win it, it will be because of the stubborn Pep. Can you imagine? Yesterday he didn't make any substitution.
Yeah,
he left all his star players on the bench. As in, he's very stubborn, and that's the reason why everyone was blaming him why he lost the Champions League final against Chelsea. There are some decisions that he makes that are up to him, and he doesn't care. How can you go there? You need maybe a Gundogan in the game to come and change something here and there. Maybe a Gabriel Jesus to come in. He didn't make any substitute until it was unbelievable. So if they lose it, it will be up to
He's always trying to prove a point. Like, it's like he overthinks things. And
that's his weakness.
He overthinks.
So if they don't win it, it will be up to Pep's stubbornness. Yeah.
Just to jump ahead a bit, that's why me, I'm always confident when we play City. Like, we're playing them, I think, over the weekend. And I'm already confident because, especially depending on what happens tomorrow with Arsenal, say if we win, that will give Pep so much pressure that by the time we reach and play them, he will overthink it and overcomplicate his football, and somehow find a way to lose.
Yeah. but then again, for Pep, it's about the squad depth. I think in the Premier League, Thomas Tuchel is very good when it comes to these cups. He can reach a final because this one is about how you set up your team. But for these tournaments where you have to go 38 games, the only reason I say, okay, Pep is good tactically, but his edge over all other teams is the squad depth. Because if you look at his bench, he has 50 million pound defenders on the bench like Nathan Ake, other good players who are not starting, who would be starters in all other Premier League teams. So his squad depth, and he's good. He has the brains. It gives him an edge over all other teams because he has the financial muscle. So if you give Arteta that Man City team, because basing on what Arteta is showing us with us, and oh my God, I think Arteta can take the league on a canter if he has the Man City team. So I wouldn't want Liverpool to win the league because Liverpool is getting noisy. I don't care how many times Man City wins it because Man City, even if they win it, no one is going to make for us noise. But
you guys
it's all about the financial muscle.
Jonah said the Man City fans went to school, man. So really, looking for Man City fans, there was no one.
The Man City guys are in prep right now, so
they're in prep.
You can't get a hold of them. But very interesting, and we'll move on to Liverpool. Jonah, your boys there, 2-0 victory right there for them over the weekend against Brighton and Hove Albion. Goals coming in from those two gentlemen. Luis Diaz with the first goal, actually being knocked out by the goalkeeper in a horrific clash there. I thought that was going to be a terrible injury, but he in true Colombian fashion, he was, he got up on his feet. Mo Salah slotting home the second goal right there. I believe it was a penalty. And looking good for Liverpool. They're closing the gap, and if they beat Arsenal tomorrow, then it would just be to 1 point. But Jonah, your thoughts on that game in particular?
That game in particular, to be honest, wasn't the most fun to watch. It was always going to be scrappy. I never enjoy playing Brighton. They're those teams that Klopp just somehow struggles against. Brighton is one of the teams we dropped points against this season. And they just find a way to frustrate us. And even this game, as soon as it started, they were all over us. They were all over us. I even remember asking the guys I was watching with that, are we home or away? Because they were so all over us. But they were home. And the first goal came. That should have been a red. But I guess the ref was like, let me not kill the game. And Diaz didn't necessarily milk it. But it should have been a red. Because irrespective, it's violent play. Then, of course, Salah's penalty coming much later. But it was a solid win, but I didn't enjoy it. Diaz having that very threatening attempt on his life. Then Salah later getting injured in the 65th minute. Even as a fantasy player, I was like, man, my points are going here.
Attempted murder.
But yeah, solid win.
Brilliant. Manzi, your thoughts on Liverpool after that game, puts them into a strong position, and you feel they'll be too much for the Arsenal on Wednesday?
And they'll definitely beat Arsenal. There's no two ways about it. It's not like Liverpool, Brighton, where even the odds suggest that if you put your money on Brighton, you're surely losing it. The odds will be comparable, as in some people, the house will expect Arsenal to win. But that said, Liverpool are favorites. I don't expect them to lose against Arsenal. I expect them to win. And there are some things that you see that are obvious. I remember last week, sorry to take you back, there are some United fans who expected City to lose to United. I asked, like, how, in which world can United beat City? I just could not see it. But guys convinced me, they're like, yeah. And after the
maybe if you had Cristiano Ronaldo on and
no, Cristiano didn't have done anything. Those guys can hide the ball, man. They will keep the ball. Actually, you've seen that meme of Maguire saying, "Ref, give us another ball." These guys are playing with that one. The City guys are playing. Yeah, so that kind of football where they had the ball and you don't get United in second half. I think it was Jonah who posted in our group. Ederson was at the halfway. He was bored, man. He could have gone home and 0 shots on goal, 0. So, Liverpool will win, will beat City. They will hide the ball, and Liverpool likes that stuff of touching the ball. So when they don't get it, they'll be frustrated. They'll just push.
Brilliant. Ali G, I know you've already touched a bit on Liverpool, but I mean, how does this victory, which was quite convincing, ideally, Mohamed Salah looks like he's going to be, if he plays, he'll be half fit. No doubt. What do you feel Luis Diaz can bring to the table? Can he be the turning point for Liverpool in that attack?
Actually, I was going to talk about that, Kevin, before you mentioned him, because at the beginning of season, we all thought that maybe Diogo Jota was the guy going to fill in for Firmino, because Firmino, as you could see that, he's wearing out, he needs a replacement. And now this guy comes in and is displacing Diogo Jota, who is very good. So he has actually fit in the team so well. He's starting games. He looks very strong. He makes those runs. He's connecting well. Mohamed Salah is very fast and money, but it didn't take so much time for him to fit in the system on how they move, because Liverpool will just come and run over you. So they need someone who can read the game so well. Those fast runs, those balls that are jumping over the defense, and it needs someone to go in and pass it back to Mohamed Salah to make that shot. So he has fit in so well, and it's very perfect. And the problem that Liverpool had last season, they didn't compete for the league because of the injuries, the many injuries that they had. And now
you mean the one injury of Van Dijk?
Not just that one, Manzi.
They had very many injuries.
We had no centre backs at all.
That's what I'm saying. As in, without Van Dijk,
even this guy on the right, the right wing back was sick. This guy also on the left also got an injury at some time. So they suffered, and most of their balls, if you look at the way they set up, most of the balls, their runs, they come from the wings. So, and this season comes and everyone is fit, they're ready to go for it, and they add in Luis Diaz on their team. So they will definitely feel bad if they don't win it, but good thing they already have the trophy they've won this season, so it's a consolation for them. But I hope the best for them. Me as a Chelsea fan, I also hope the best for myself. It's only the injuries that have let us down, but next season we shall come for it stronger.
But think about Liverpool, Jonah. Isn't TAA like your best ever player in the world? That guy is
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
bad.
No. No, it's good, but he also has you. Why doesn't he start on the England team? Why would they pick Chris James over him? He's good when he's making those runs.
Fantasy will tell you
correction, Ali.
Players.
Now, Ali, hold on. A point of correction before Manzi continues. It is not Rhys James who starts. It's Kieran Trippier.
But Rhys James.
Please. Rhys James.
It's Kieran Trippier, but who is after Kieran? It's Rhys James.
No, Rhys James is still a young man.
No.
But Ali, TA is better than Rhys James.
Guys,
if we're going
to base football knowledge of Gareth Southgate, then sure.
I know, right?
You saw the squad. You saw the squad, the call-up of the squad in the Euros. In the Euros, you saw the squad that they called up. They picked Rhys James ahead of Arnold.
That squad has Maguire, so you can't tell me anything. Yes, Maguire plays for England. He does not deserve to play for England.
Let me tell you. The thing is, Arnold is very good when he's making those forward runs, but his primary role is defense, and it's not very good.
His primary role is to assist. He's a right wing back.
He's a defender, and he's very good when he's making those runs.
That defending stuff of being on the right wing ended with, I think, Gary Neville. When you're on the right, you have to run, assist.
Then let them put him as a striker. His job is to defend, though it's very good when he complements the strikers, when he makes those forward runs and everything. It's not so good when it comes to falling back. And if you watch most of the Liverpool games, my Liverpool colleague can also confirm this. You will see most of the time Van Dijk is always pointing at him. He's always blaming him for 1, 2, 3 things when he doesn't fall back on time.
But
when they're going past him.
Obviously, if you're a player that attacks a lot, there's going to be the compromise where guys target your wing, right? And
yes, but what's his primary role? What's his primary role? Is it to defend? Strike or to defend? Yes, that's the thing.
To defend. And Liverpool has the most clean sheets tied with City right now. So I guess our defense is not bad. But that being said,
you have a very composed Van Dijk.
Mathew has even brought up the stats here. Yes, Mathew, bring up the stats.
Yeah, man.
That's why. Wait, that's why last season. That's why last season when Van Dijk got an injury. Last season, that's why when Van Dijk got an injury last season, the whole of Liverpool team crumbled. All of it. Why? Because it's the center. Yeah, it's the one who is always commanding. All these guys are making flat runs.
If I take Rudiger out of your team, you're going to struggle. That's the core.
No, my friend. We have Thiago Silva. We have Christensen, who is wanted by Barcelona.
Thiago Silva is like 100 years old, man. That guy can't play 3 games in a row.
You want to pull out these statistics? That guy is very solid. I think he's one of the best players.
In the 3 games he plays, for sure. In the 3 games he plays,
he's playing every game.
But let's stick to Trent and Rhys. Rhys plays in a 5-man defense. Of course, he has protection. He's in a 5-man defense. He has protection. He can do what he wants. He can become a midfielder. Put him in a 4-man defense and we see his stats.
No, I want you to go and research why Rhys was picked over Arnold for the Euros.
Bro,
because Rhys was okay.
Let's focus on the Premier League. Leave the Euros out.
But picked by Southgate.
Yes. No, but it's a squad. So I want you to go and research why Rhys was picked over Arnold. Arnold is good. He has his abilities over Rhys, but his primary role is to defend. Much as just to do those forward runs, everything. Rhys is better when it comes to falling back.
Before John Stones doesn't mean Maguire is better.
Now, gentlemen, we are looking at this. Ali, we are looking at the statistics here, courtesy obviously of the Premier League, from the Premier League website. But you can see Liverpool leading in most of the stats. Goal scored, Salah currently leading. Assists there, Trent Alexander-Arnold. So we must give respect where it's due. He is at the moment.
Although missed most of the games.
Hold on. And although Manchester City have the most clean sheets, Liverpool are second on the clean sheets table. So that is in testament to the defense as a unit. For sure, you have to give respect where it's due. To they have a more balanced squad. Even with Chelsea's first team there, having Ben Chilwell and Reece James, you cannot compare that to Robertson, the efficiency and effectiveness of Robertson and Trent, as well as the central defensive partnership. Because guys even managed to make Joel Matip look like he's a world-class defender. No offense to him, he's a decent defender. But for example, I don't think Matip is better than let's say Rudiger, for example. But he still manages to put in a good shape.
Maguire. I think Liverpool's defense is all about Van Dijk. Honestly, that guy commands so well. He's very composed. There's no panic, and the way he organizes them back there, that is very good. So, if you put
Mathew,
Maguire,
Ali won't allow, man. We move.
If you put Maguire and Arnold next to each other, that's why you're going to the weaknesses of Arnold. I'm telling you. But we shall discuss it on another day.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Arnold versus James. We can. I will slot that up by the. But we shall put that up. We shall continue with that debate later on. But moving on to the other game, Chelsea. Playing against Newcastle. Sorry, and the weekend coming up with a 1-0 win, courtesy of Kai Havertz. Nearly, at the death, and you can see what it meant to Thomas Tuchel right there. Ali, you touched on the fact that Arsenal is on your bumper. You couldn't be far from the truth, because you're now on 28 games played, 59 points. Arsenal are on 26 games, so they have a couple of games done, and they have 51 points. Now, if Arsenal pull up a shocker, I say a shocker because everyone expects them to lose tomorrow, and they win their Liverpool game and go on a run and win their next 3 games. All of a sudden, that sets up nicely for when they meet Chelsea towards the end of April, and it could be quite interesting. What are your thoughts on that, Ali?
I'm not worried about playing Arsenal. I'm just worried about Arsenal, the way they're picking up points from all these other teams that they were not picking points from last season and all the other seasons. I don't know. Maybe it's conspiracy, but they're so. I thought when Aubameyang leaves, maybe they will not even survive. It's very worrying for us, Arsenal, being the London neighbors and the people who make most of the noise in London. So it's not good for us. But back to Thomas Tuchel, he was so happy. You can see him. That with all the problems that are around Stamford Bridge, the uncertainty of the players, the transport, everything, picking this 1 point against a stubborn Newcastle team. Honestly, if you get a point against Newcastle right now, you'd be very, very happy. Newcastle is very stubborn. They are very strong. They are a very physical team. If you get anything against Newcastle now, you deserve to celebrate the way Thomas Tuchel did. But then again, we can't ignore the fact that Kai Havertz every day and day is just finding his price tag, his value is very smooth. I think Lukaku now is very comfortable on the bench because having a Lukaku standing and making those 1-2 touches is not as good as having Kai Havertz playing the false 9, running behind around the defenders, coming back to pull the ball and moving it and distributing it. So for Chelsea right now, we're in a comfortable position. It's just unfortunate that we dropped some points when Chilwell and James got injured. I think we lost points against weak teams like Manu, Burnley, Everton. If even we could be like next to Liverpool, but this is how it is. We wait for next season and maybe start again, depending on these issues go and end. But for now, yeah, this is the situation. It's the reality.
I think let Ali speak for himself, not all the clubs, saying that, getting 3 points from Newcastle, scoring 1 goal is such a hard thing. No. Just 3 weeks ago, Newcastle was going to be relegated. So Newcastle is a very poor team. Don't say anything like they're hard to beat.
Hey,
Chelsea
Mathew, look at this man. Do you know what happened to Newcastle? Newcastle was going to be relegated, but when the rich people came in, they have built, and that new manager ever since he came, you can check the how many wins they have.
They're on the up, but you cannot tell us that it was such a a great victory to beat.
Right now,
this week, like,
if we get a victory against Newcastle, I'm sure this man now Newcastle is strong right now. Getting a point against Newcastle.
There's nothing to assure me about. You guys were
Jonah,
lucky to win that game.
Jonah,
That game was going to be a goalless draw.
Let me pull Jonah in here. Jonah, your thoughts on that Chelsea game? Because clearly the two gentlemen are not on the same page.
I think Jonah didn't get the question. Mathew, I just wanted to pull out the results here for Newcastle. For my friend Manzi. Newcastle won 2-1 against Brighton, 2-1, and you saw how Liverpool struggled to get the win against Brighton. And before that, they won Brentford. They went to Brentford and they won 2-0. Brentford is also very stubborn. My Arsenal colleagues can tell you what happened at the beginning of the season. That's Brentford. And let me say another. Okay, their last poor game was against West Ham. It was a 1-1. And we're talking about West Ham. Liverpool can tell you something about West Ham. So Newcastle is not easy.
You're comparing Chelsea to Brighton and Brentford. That's what you're saying.
Now I'm showing you the results they've had in the past game. I'm trying to show you the results they've had in the past games.
Sorry, I was muted.
No.
Ali, you have to start thinking like that because you're going to go down.
Let's pull in Jonah. Jonah.
Yeah,
clearly two gentlemen are not on the same page. But your views.
I was saying, honestly, we can't deny, especially us who play fantasy, we'll be following these things. Newcastle have been doing well. That's the truth. And it's not a nice place to go to right now. But the truth, Ali, is you're not happy that you won Newcastle. You're happy that you won. Because of right now the negativity around Chelsea Football Club, you guys needed a win. Like just any win would have been good. You just needed good news. Like you guys are having so many problems right now. You just need good news. But that being said, the game was very controversial. We also saw the controversial decisions going Chelsea's way. And these things happen in football. It's good that Chelsea the league is not against them. Clearly, they also get decisions for them. But
those are sympathy decisions. For me,
let me talk about Kai Havertz. I'm a big fan of Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is that player that just goes under the radar. He's very, as they say in football terms or sports terms, he's very clutch. He's that guy who will come and score in finals. He scores in big games. And he may not necessarily have the loudest game. Like Mason Mount will get so many chances and miss. But Kai Havertz will get the one chance and boom. And that goal was a very good goal. Taking that touch in the dying minutes and scoring the way he scored, it was a very good goal. And I really want to give Kai Havertz his props.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think let's leave all things Chelsea there at the moment. And I think we really have to pray for them over the next few weeks because they might be attending their next game at Lille in the Champions League by safe border. No. Your team might be going by safe border.
Finish like 8th. Like these next 10 games, they may finish in 8th position.
No, probably you're not updated. You're not updated. The government, the British government gave a go-ahead for the South to go on. So once we get a Saudi Arabian billionaire or the American consortium, we shall be good to go. We won't have any problem. So that's what we are waiting. We're hoping for the South to happen soon.
Like we said, we pray for you. And moving on to the red half of London, the part of London that actually matters, ladies and gentlemen. The Arsenal pulling up a 2-0 win against Leicester City at the Emirates. Fantastic game. Mr. Ali G, you watched the game from beginning to end, including extra time, post-match interviews, and even watched the players leaving in their cars. What was your view about the game?
I think I'll give all the credit to Arteta. I don't know. At the beginning, we all thought that Arteta was confused. People were calling for EZ when he let Badman Oba leave. People were calling for EZ seriously. But, oh my God, the Arsenal team is really something. And Thierry Henry said that it will be the Arsenal players, they will blame themselves if they miss out on the top 4 because they've played so well. They've been consistent, more consistent than other seasons. I think other seasons, you remember Arsenal would start so well then they will start burning out towards the end. They will start getting funny results. But here you can see that there is a drive. When you see those guys playing, Thomas Partey, Odegaard, I even wonder why Real Madrid let that kid go, because the team is so good. It's so I can actually watch the game when I don't want Arsenal to win, but I will be happy for them because the results are really. Lacazette has really, if you see him playing, he really puts in a shift. Everyone is fighting for the team. I don't know, maybe they are fighting for Arteta. Maybe probably they thought that he would be fired, but I'm so happy for the team. That's one of the games that I watch hoping Arsenal would lose, because I really want an Arsenal loss to happen anytime soon. I'm not getting it, but hopefully it will come soon. That's what I can say. Hopefully it will come soon.
Yeah, Jonah, your views on that match. Do you think this momentum the Gunners had, unbeaten in the last 5 or 6 games, same amount of momentum as Liverpool going into that big clash, does it worry you going into that game? I mean, it is at the Emirates.
Yeah, I think it's actually a very interesting dynamic. You know, some people have been saying, oh, Arsenal's had an easy run, they were playing relegation teams. But just like Ali mentioned a bit earlier, these relegation teams are kind of the worst teams to play right now. You don't want to play Norwich, you don't want to play Newcastle, Burnley. These guys are problematic right now. So there has to be some nuance to the way you view the games Arsenal's played. I think they have really come a long way, beating teams that, like Ali even said much earlier, they would be losing to last season. And tomorrow is a proper litmus test for Arsenal. Of course, may I expect to win. But again, there's that threat. There's that threat, like these guys have a point to prove. You're also chasing something. So it's going to be a proper final tomorrow.
Yeah, there's going to be an interesting match. And Manzi, what's your take on that game? Do you see an upset there coming from the Arsenal? Do you see Liverpool having way too much for Arsenal?
Before I answer that, I've just remembered, I think Ali spoke about Thomas Partey, and just like 2-3 months ago, we watched AFCON, and I'm like, is this the Thomas Partey of Ghana? Is the same Partey of Arsenal? So when you watch AFCON, you look and you're like, this guy could not control the ball, he couldn't pass. But I guess
it was the pitches, man.
The pitch was, I think the pitch or maybe the humidity was too much in Africa, but in Arsenal, I think he's playing well. Of course, guys are saying there's a battle for the 4th. There's no battle, you guys. Arsenal has taken that 4th spot. United should just allow. We'll finish either 5th or 6th, depending on what West Ham does, or if even Tottenham comes into the fray. So I think they'll finish top 4, but they can't beat Liverpool. They just do not have the requirements in their Ghana's chest. They don't have the bullets to shoot at Liverpool and cause damage. I think Liverpool will maybe 3-0 or 2-0 would be my prediction.
I think it will be all about how the Arsenal defense sets up, because if you watch Arsenal Liverpool, the way the Chelsea defenders marked Mohamed Salah, Mane, and Lewis. So if the Arsenal guys come with their strong feet forward and they mark those guys, they put them out of the game. I trust Martinelli against Arnold. That's maybe probably tomorrow we shall see the weaknesses of Arnold. If the Arsenal defense is very good and the Martinellis, the Odegaards move that ball very well, the Sakas, you will see Arsenal can get something to shock you and everyone will be surprised. Because it's all about putting the Liverpool front guys out of the game. If you put those front 3 guys out of the game,
assist and goal.
That's what I'm saying. If you put those Liverpool front guys out of the game, you're sure you can get something for yourself. Tomorrow's game will be dependent on how good the Arsenal defense sets up. Only that. If they come,
I don't see Arsenal coming to defend. As in the Arsenal that's playing right now, they are playing to win, and in most cases, that plays into Liverpool's hands.
Yeah, but
if they came and say, okay, we're defending.
No, they will come to win, but you also rely on the composure and the calmness of the defenders. Because if you're moving and you're leaving Salah unmarked behind, you know what he will do. Just one ball from Alisson to cut across the half pitch, it will be a goal. So you also rely on the defenders to be very, very smart on that day and make sure they put those guys out of the game. Because if they fail to do that, it will be very, very tragic for Arsenal. So much as they'll go and they will get the game, they want to get the goals, they need their defenders to be on their best discipline tomorrow.
Yeah, in my view, I feel that obviously Liverpool is a very well balanced side. So there are a lot of battles that are going to need to be won. To be honest, it's not going to be reliant just on the defense. Arsenal's defense will need to be awake. The midfield will need to be at its best, and hopefully Granit Xhaka doesn't get a red card in there because Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka will need to be in defensive mode, and Partey having to release the ball fairly quickly to unlock the pace of the likes of Saka and Martinelli. And I believe Martinelli is going to be key for me because of the threat that Trent Alexander holds. Yeah, because Trent Alexander is used to coming up quite quickly. If that ball is dispossessed through a press and Martinelli is released in a 1v1 situation against Van Dijk,
correct.
Van Dijk doesn't like the pace coming at him. And of course, you have the other runners in there with Saka. Maybe Lacazette would probably hold up and do the link-up play. But if you had the likes of Smith Rowe in there, that could pose a challenge. So it's going to be down to the discipline in defense, the midfield battle, and I'd like just to highlight that if you do a comparison here, again, courtesy of the Premier League website, ladies and gentlemen, some comparative stats right there. Fabinho, fantastic player this season, and of course, way ahead of Partey with regards to the stats, as you can see. But Partey coming into his own, player of the month for Arsenal last season, fantastic last month, and a fantastic game for him in the last game. So he's going to be quite critical. He's in good form going into that. And of course, one that we don't always talk about, there's also going to be a very interesting subplot to the goalkeeping situation. Alisson is very solid, fantastic distribution. Ramsdale, you could say, also has similar traits and similar characteristics. And you see the difference is not too much in terms of clean sheets. And if you look at the saves right there, ladies and gentlemen, Alisson with 56 saves, Ramsdale with 70 saves right there. And so it's going to be an interesting set of results right there for whichever team takes it. But on my view, I'm leaving it open. A few months ago, I would have said Liverpool would steamroll Arsenal, my beloved Arsenal. But I feel like it's going to be a very open game, and I think the team that makes the fewest errors.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
My prediction will be 2-1 to the Arsenal.
I think Pep is going to be camped at the Arsenal dugout. He will be sitting there next to Arteta telling him, you guys, please, don't let Liverpool win.
Why are you giving Liverpool a goal? You can as well just say 2-0 Arsenal.
Man, Liverpool, those guys, they always nick a goal, man. Keeping them quiet, I don't know. You have put like some banana fibers on the halfway line and the goal.
But Ramsdale has been very impressive in that Arsenal team. Very, very impressive. You saw him against Leicester. There's a save that he made then. I think the Leicester manager thought that the goal was going in. He said, wow. So Ramsdale has been a revelation to that Arsenal team. And
indeed. Jonah, your predictions for that game?
3-0.
3-0 to the Arsenal. Fantastic. We'll take that.
3-0.
3-0 to Liverpool. Please.
All right. Ali, your prediction for that game?
I think a 2-2. 2-2 will be good, yeah.
I like that result. Manzi, finally with you?
I'll go with Jonah 3-0.
3-0 to Arsenal. Fantastic.
The reason I say 2-2 is because just because Arsenal went through a slump recently in the previous years, but that fixture has always been a high-scoring fixture. I think it can take you back to the famous 4-4. Remember the famous 4-4?
Yeah, Ashrafin and Fernando Torres.
Yes, so that fixture has always been a high-scoring one, and I'm glad that Arsenal is picking up the form, so I hope it can be as entertaining as the previous ones.
Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have to leave it at that for this week. Thank you for joining Gentlemen, thank you for joining, and may the best team win in that game tomorrow. And we will be keeping an eye on the title race as well as the top four race. We will be back next week. Thank you, and have a good rest of the week. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. Thank you, gentlemen. Cheers.